Khuzuzampo, welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Sunam Pem. Our top stories this week. His Royal Highness the Gets-up inaugurates Marping Youth Commercial Organic Farm in Kangdong. More than 70% of the Wangdi-zong reconstruction works complete. And Gelifu boulder exporters request for intervention as business hits another problem. His Royal Highness Gets-up Jimmy Doji Wangchuk recently graced the inauguration of the Marping Youth Commercial Organic Farm at Rizangdung Chiok in Kangdong. His Royal Highness the Gets-up was accompanied by Aji Yitsolamo.
On behalf of His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness awarded land use certificate to the youth group who will be running the farm. Marping Youth Commercial Organic Farm will be run by a youth group with the support of His Majesty's People's Project. The group will be growing pineapples and other lucrative cash crops. The stakeholders that have come together to support the group under the project include the Office of the Gabi Zimpe, Ministry of Agriculture and Forest, Labour Ministry, Bhutan Agro Industries Limited, Bank of Bhutan, and Tashigang Zongkhak. The agencies together supported the provision of roads, irrigation, electrification, and other infrastructure needs and loans. The group received the rights to use over 18 acres of land for the project as Kidu. The produce from the farm will be purchased by Bhutan Agro Industries Limited for use in their products. For Sonam Targye in Tashigang, Kiletem, PBS News.
Prime Minister Dr. Lotus Ring apologized to the public for not being able to launch the Sungjin app in 120 days. Providing Sungjin, an application that will enable Bhutanese to communicate freely without the need to recharge, was one of the government's 25 pledges in 120 days after the government is formed. However, the Prime Minister last week said developing the app requires proper study and measures and assured that the app is on its way.
Sungjin ki app di gutsubengale gyakhablu kujong nyusube mise ma chisholu chap chisube phobe sebeni digi machi la di tun koko men seshunibi miselu shop chop digi be board guni tun shushu men seshunibi nekapchi theda thero thanjurora thenjube de thocha mo tumdibe bewachin di gyakhablu ya stop modu jonime mangile masu chitang gop thenime se anibini ngachi to la lejime be de jurul henkagi tilo shipsel lejime be de tuda tundigi be ani flagship di omega le de chika thong se shunibi the miselu sudip chidi ngachigi de ngidang jadangi shu sangana zoge semedi dani ngachi nishu jadangi shu no zoge semedi ngachigi dumachup gommati se shunibi tilungagi labni dom chi zodige be de gommati se shuge dibeodalu lerimti ora ondo se shunibi lerimti momachin omachubachin ani가 ben de ngachilu de kamashi do damni iru nomchu phuni iru denjatani iru ani가 zina se shunibi.
If everything goes as planned, every student will get to attend computer classes. The flagship program under the Ministry of Education aims to provide basic ICT skills to students across the country. The government has allocated 1 billion yutam for the program.
Digital literacy mebachin tengachiri conventional literacy gi di halamchi top methopni zumbe du sebeni digi tengara to bom ki digi be sheril henkanalu tiru therbum chi gi Mixil Gilerim flagship program education nalu tani bewachin ICTization of the whole schools la ani ngachara gutsubi gale gutsudigi chütin lorim losarle gutsudigi be de chütin yupchi thorim lobla tha kyukera garalu the ICT gi education literacy go se tani bode ngache ICT lu exposure chida basic chigi lojo shumen se shunibi hardcore real time ICT education gi lojo ila kori ji yente di kachile nerulen todi nga bewacha ani gi thomni zumchi du.
Prime Minister Dr. Lotus Ring assured the people working in state-owned enterprises, corporations and institutions of pay revision. This, however, will happen only when the cabinet receives memo from the organizations and approves it.
juan leso gi tsukdi gi be ikudi ngachara gi henso ne hugo se shuni beila ani hubdara ngachara rub be wachin dunta sumde chige ma huchi te kara hu ngachi chaju be taila ta ngachara ma medical gi tsukdi me kj ums me titoto ya ma hu la ngachi besa male hugo be bala te ta legend disugi me SOE situme ani SOE gi disugi male ombe ngachi gi taria henso na yu se shuni be 아니 현선을 같이 순도에 따지 아니 슈마기 잘하베세 나니기 레림나 투자노라 다니보다 같이 베서 휴미디수 가라 따이 세슈니 베일라 다마라 준 때와기들 레림디 디사우친 딜린 주민 레소디수베 딜린 같이기 쭉데디수기 베베 뱅알레 레림 샤르베로 온디 데보다 레림데로 말레기 라스르 데오 유미밍옴다 쭉데디수기 베 야행이 준수나 주고베다 행이 준수나 휴미수디 같이 샤르샤 톱탕으로 여발라티디 아니 벤디기 또 둠타레 툴루 the tsagere yu tokpare yu bachin tulu tsagi jemu go sishuni biti malinga chibese humidisu kahara shara chigi dilu japchu fudere yu sila.
The opposition party says the government failed to bring in any major reforms as pledged. The party in a press release mentioned, as the government completes its 1 year, there is not much changes in the economy, health and education sectors as claimed. The party said initiatives cannot be equated to achievements.
Certain indicators actually show that the government has not achieved much and there are a lot of things to be desired. We would like to say that government actually lacks the clarity of vision and economy for us. I think there is no compromise. Economy must be the bedrock of Bhutan's democracy, must be the instrument of nation building. Therefore, as we talk now, the national debt has been rising and the external debt especially has been rising. And we did not see any concrete steps from the government's part that will actually steer us towards economic self-reliance. On the health sector, people of Bhutan know that the government actually came to power on the plank of transforming and if not revolutionizing the health sector. Even as we were recollecting the promises of the government on the health sector, we lost a baby in Dagana because an ambulance did not have a fuel. And there are a lot of things that the government needs to do in the health sector and so far it has remained rhetoric. Waiving of the cutoff point for class 10 students who could not actually qualify for government scholarship was controversial and even the annual education conference actually advised the government not to do so. But the government went ahead. We think that this decision will have a wider implications.
In the latest update of the Wangdi-Fodong reconstruction project, more than 70% of the works have been achieved. Officials said the project is progressing as planned to meet the 2022 deadline. Works to restore the 374-year-old fortress began in 2014, 2 years after a fire razed it to the ground.
At the moment, works are focused on the construction of a 50-meter-long service tunnel in the second courtyard. Although time-consuming, the works will not hamper in the timely completion of the project. The tunnel is expected to be ready in the next month and a half's time. Following this, a hall and a hostel will be constructed in the same courtyard. Another 100-meter-long service tunnel will also be constructed from the first courtyard till the main entrance.
The service of the line.
We have several reasons to construct these service tunnels. Water pipes, cables for telephone, electricity and internet connections and safety tank pipes will run through it. The tunnels can also be used during the maintenance works in future.
The tunnels will also serve as emergency exits. According to the project officials, the reconstruction project is in its last phase.
The
construction of main tower or Utsi is complete. Similarly, in the first courtyard, we have finished constructing the district administrative block. Now we are in the last phase.
Officials added, only Bhutanese workers are involved at the construction site and currently there are more than 300 of them.
Normally, Indian workers do all the iron casting works, but here we do it ourselves. This has helped us gain several knowledge and skills. Moreover, we feel happy to work with fellow Bhutanese workers. I think we can now work in other similar projects.
According to the project officials, they are also receiving continuous contribution for labor force and sponsorship for Toka. Toka literally means serving meals to the workers here at the work site. So far, of the 1 billion yutam the Indian government provided for the reconstruction works, around 645 million yutam has been spent. This is Chang Adoji for BBS News, Wangdipoda.
The former Tongsa Zongdal Habdoji was convicted for 13 years for forgery, official misconduct and execution of documents by deception in the Tongsa's land scam case. However, he was given a concurrent prison term of only 5 years. His wife Karma Sitim Dema and former Daktengap Tenzin was also convicted for 15 years each in prison. But they will serve a concurrent prison term of only 6 years each for forgery, solicitation and for influencing the witness. Similarly, the former Dangpen Ugen Tenzin was handed down an 18-month sentence for attempt to forgery. The court gave concurrent sentencing of 18 months each to former surveyor Narayan Dangal and former Nubigap Finso. The duo was actually convicted for 2 years, 6 months and 3 years respectively. Another surveyor, Kelzang Nima, was sentenced to a year in prison. However, the court acquitted former Nubigap Tashipenden, former Tsokpas Wangshula and Kilela for providing information to the court against the other defendants. The judgment was passed by the Tongsa District Court on Thursday. The Office of the Attorney General has filed a petition against the recent verdict passed by Ilhame Zinka Dunkha Court sentencing a 35-year-old man for raping his 2 daughters. The OAG states that the 23-year sentencing by the court is too less for a crime which is immoral and one which has defamed the country. The convict was found guilty of 2 counts of rape of a child above 12 years, 2 counts of incest and 2 counts of battery. OAG has appealed for maximum sentences for the crimes. Bhutan Netcom, the country's first multi-service operator, was formally established in the capital last week. This means the local cable operators will no longer have to buy contents directly from foreign broadcasters. The MSO will provide the contents to them.
Bringing cable service under the umbrella of a multi-service operator is expected to help deliver premium contents and equal distribution of TV channels to an increasingly discerning customers irrespective of places. It will also contribute to digitalizing the television signal in the country. According to Bhutan Netcom, the current trend of local cable operators negotiating directly with foreign content providers or using direct-to-home service leads to unequal distribution of channels, outflow of money from individual cable operators, and poor quality.
So the MSO will now buy the content from all these broadcasters on behalf of all the local cable operators. So our local cable operators, they don't have to now negotiate with these broadcasters on their own, because that would become very expensive to buy the contents from the broadcasters. MSO buying the content from the foreign broadcasters will be much helpful to our local cable operators.
As cable operators providing services in rural areas, we are not able to give the same number of channels like in Thimphu. It would be expensive for us. Now, with the MSO coming in, there will be equal distribution of channels across the country. That way, it benefits both service provider and subscriber.
The consortium of local cable operators, who are also the members of the Association of Bhutanese Cable Operators, formed the multi-service operator. Currently, there are 92 licensed cable TV operators in the country. For Something Darker, This is Pasandoji for BBS News.
Samrup Jonkar was one of the most important trading towns for the eastern districts, but slowly it lost that vibrancy. Now to bring back that glory, the town's vision and mission was launched last week. It is to revive Samrup Jonkar town as the commercial hub for eastern districts once again. The town aims to become a gross national happiness-based commercial hub in the next 10 years. The vision is to create Samrup Jonkar town as gross national happiness-based commercial hub, and the mission is to nurture a commercially and culturally vibrant community living in peace and inclusivity. It is an initiative of the Bhutan Center for Media and Democracy and Samrup Jonkar initiative. The initiative is a part of the community mapping project for community development.
So when you are saying GNH commercial hub, I think it is, if I summarize that, it is a development with values where we focus more on to recreational services like retreat centers, which is not totally focused on making profit in terms of monetary term, but in terms of making people come to Samrup Jonkar from different perspectives, with different with our own culture, tradition, unlike other from this land.
The vision and mission was developed after several consultations with communities and stakeholders. According to the program director, it is the responsibility of both the communities and stakeholders to implement and take it further to achieve Samrup Jonkar town as gross national happiness town. The message of working together in unison was conveyed through a play on Thimpa Pinchi or Four Friends.
It's not that it has to be implemented. I mean, what I'm trying to tell is that it is part of the community mapping project that we have come with the vision and mission statement of Samrup Jonkar, and now we are offering this vision and mission statement to Samrup Jonkar Tromde and other relevant stakeholders. So when it comes to implementation, it will totally depend on them. But however, I think Samrup Jonkar Initiative and the Bhutan Center for Media and Democracy would like to discuss further with the relevant stakeholders.
Over the past 3 years, Samrup Jonkar Initiative and Bhutan Center for Media and Democracy have implemented 10 local action projects using community mapping tools in Deothang, Orung and Samrup Jonkar town. For Kilewanchu in Samrup Jonkar, Sunampem for BBS News. The boulder export business to Bangladesh from Galifu has come to a standstill once again. But unlike earlier this year, this time it is not due to any official order. The exporters and transporters are reluctant to continue with their business due to problems encountered in transporting the material. They are now requesting for an immediate intervention from relevant authorities.
According to those involved in the boulder export business, the enforcement of carrying capacity per truck to 18 tons earlier this year came as a major setback. Following this was the news of Bhutanese truckers being harassed along the Indian highway, which went viral on social media, and restriction on movement of boulder-laden Bhutanese trucks through Tura town in Meghalaya. They added as they found an alternative route to deliver the consignment till the exit point, another problem cropped up. Local mobs and non-profit organizations along the route collected extortion fee in the name of vehicles being overloaded. Also, there have been reports of conflict among exporters.
Several people started acting smart. They started visiting Mahapurgaon and then trying to explore market outlet. In the process, they started negotiating the prices, and when they started negotiating the prices, they could not negotiate at a reasonable rate. They came drastically down, and then from that point, it came down to 25, 24, 23, 22. Now, Nakagaon people are offering only 1800 rupees per ton, which is way below what it used to be those days.
As the business slowed down, came in the practice call setting. It involved an individual or group who coordinated all the export processes for a certain fee.
나라마 치송바 베로다 transporter 베로다 당치나 dredging 이베디 베로다.
Now, irrespective of whether a person is an exporter, a transporter, a dredging contractor or a setter, everyone must come together and coordinate for the situation to improve. At the moment, it is not a healthy competition. Everyone is after bringing each other down.
Exporters say amidst the incidental expenses incurred, transporting boulders at the current rate of 1,800 Newton per ton would only be break-even.
If the government wants their exporters, if the country wants their exporters to do a fair business without cheating on anybody else, then government should, I feel that government should discuss with the Bangladeshi importers through some other means to raise the price back to same old price. Then only. Otherwise, we have to, by all means, carry a little bit extra, maybe up to 30 tons.
The regional manager of Bhutan Chamber of Commerce and Industry office in Gyelephu said, so far none of the exporters or transporters in Gyelephu approached the office for intervention.
I feel it is the BCCI's responsibility to address the issue. For that, we will soon submit a report to our head office about the ground realities here. We will inform and recommend the government on certain possibilities on our side to resolve the issue.
He added a coordination meeting with all the relevant stakeholders from Meghalaya, Assam and the Bhutanese government should be organized if this problem is to be resolved at the earliest. Meanwhile, more than 4 million tons of riverbed materials are stocked along the Mao riverbed currently. The export business of riverbed materials from Gyelephu to Bangladesh started in November last year. For Karma Ongdi in Sarbang, Chonidama for BBS News.
Former three-time Mr. Bhutan Tandin Wangchen bagged the silver medal in the men's athletic physics category at the 11th World Bodybuilding and Physics Sports Championship held in South Korea. He competed against 3 participants from Thailand, India and Uzbekistan. He had stood 5th in the Master Bodybuilding category at the 53rd Asian Bodybuilding and Physics Sports Championships held in Indonesia last month. The Bhutanese karate team bagged 1 gold medal and 4 bronze medals at the 5th South Asian Karate Championship held at Dhaka. 240 participants from 5 South Asian countries took part in the championship organized by the Bangladesh Karate Federation. Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for joining us.